Welcome or welcome back. Thanks for coming to visit us. In this video, I'm going to be hand dyeing cotton yarn. One will be a DK weight, and it is bare. One is a worsted weight, and it is the white yarn that you see. Now, the DK I got from Nomad Yarns, and the worsted weight I got from Walmart online. The seller was actually Mary Maxim. It's the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, cotton yarn, which is a little rough, but it can be dealt with. And let's see here. My goal in this session was actually to recreate this OG colorway, you see. And I named it Tropical Tutti Fruity. It's cotton, it was bare. I really like it. So now my goal was to create it whenever I need it. So in order to do cotton yarn, you gotta have what's called Procyon fiber reactive dyes, and you can only use these dyes. Let's see, like on plant-based fibers such as cotton, linen, bamboo. I got my fiber reactive dyes from a company called Dharma Trading Company, which I believe they produce professional dyes, but you can use them as a home dyer. Very nice. I like them. I've placed a couple of orders so far. Uh, this dye, it's great dye. There's other companies as well. There's another company called Dye Spin that I'm definitely going to have to give them a try because they have some out of this world colors. Now, Dharma's colors are great too, but the Dye Spin, I mean, I'm seeing colors, there's variations of all the colors. And I've got to have quite a few of them. Very bright, vivid, very pigmented colors. They are coloring. Okay, let's get back to the dye now. To dye a cotton yarn, you definitely got to prepare it first. The bare yarn, it requires a little more work. It's very extra. Now the white lily and cream yarn, all I have to do is get that into the soak. But the bare yarn, you got to do some things. All right. Now you say, how do you prepare the yarn for the dyeing? Well, you want to soak it in soda ash. It's a bath of soda ash and just water. You just want to soak it. And you want to soak it for no less than an hour, I believe. But maybe 20, 25 minutes, some say. But no less than an hour would I soak it. But I do mines uh, about 24 hours. I just let it sit in there for 24 hours. I'm thinking the more the better. The better it'll accept the yarn. So I lets it soak. And like I said, the white yarn is good to go. But the bare yarn, she's so extra. You got to scour her first. And when I say scour, I mean like soak it. You first soak it in the soda ash, which would be 1 cup of soda ash per gallon of water. And you want, I believe, per, is it 3 yards of fabric or 1 pound of fabric? Per pound, you need 1 gallon of water. I do believe, but you may want to Google that and make sure that's right. No matter what the material you're using is, if it's yarn, if it's cotton material, if it's linen, if you have a pound of it, you need a gallon of soda ash water for the bath. All right, now for that bare yarn, after she soaks a while, the water will become darker, and it'll have an odor. I'm like, ugh, but yeah, she's extra. After maybe about 12 to 15 hours, I take the bare yarn and I dump that water. I put some soap in it, run some more water, and I wash it, rinse it, and fill it up with brand new water. Then I put another cup, no more than a gallon now on that water. I put another cup of soda ash in and I let it finish soaking till the 24 hours is up. And another thing about that, the thing I wanted to mention actually about the soda ash, once you put it in the water, you definitely want to make sure the yarn is out of the way. You mix it immediately. You don't want to let it sit there and harden because it's a trip to try to break that up. But then I'll go ahead and let her finish soaking for the additional hours. Now she's ready. She's right there with the white yarn and she's ready. Hold up. Pause. I have to interrupt this regularly scheduled programming to bring y'all this service announcement. First of all, excuse my senior moment, but I forgot to mention non iodized salt. Yeah, you need salt as well. Non iodized salt. I'm using kosher salt, and it's a half a cup of salt per gallon of water. You don't soak it in it the whole time, but in the end, excuse me, towards the ending of your soak, you want to add in that half a cup of non-iodized salt. In this case, I'm using kosher salt, and you mix it in thoroughly, just like you did the soda ash. Get it all dissolved. Now they say that the soda ash brings down the pH level of the yarn, and salt or pH level of whatever fiber you're dyeing brings that pH level down, and the salt is supposed to help it, the colors adhere to the yarn and be more pigmented, brighter. I don't know. It's supposed to help. So I did notice when I was using less salt, maybe 2 tablespoons, I did a red tonal, and it just wasn't giving me. It wasn't giving me red. It was red, but it wasn't red. And I increased the salt to a half a cup, and oh, it gave me red the second time that I did it. So don't forget your salt towards the end of your soak. Let it soak a little bit longer after you get the salt dissolved. Put the yarn back in. Let it soak a baby about another hour or so, however long you decide, but no less than an hour before you actually apply the dye. You want the salt to get all up in there in the fibers. Okay? Now back to this regularly scheduled programming. And this method that I'm going to be using here is called low immersion. So you see me removing some of that soap water. Uh, and a side note, I do not dump the water. I use it to process the yarn because ain't nobody got time to be wasting resources. Why would I dump that water? It has soda ash in it, which is good for the yarn. I figure it's going to to the help the dye take to the yarn or adhere to it. So I'm not dumping that. I use it. Now that extra that I have in that picture, I did dump that because I didn't need it for the amount of yarn that I was doing. And I'm not gonna let that sit around and soak until I'm ready for my next session. I don't have the space to store that. But if I did, I would keep it in a bucket and then put more, use it again. So you use that as your discretion how you want to store that water, save it, dump it. It's totally up to you. But for this session, I'm not going to take that soda ash, dump it, and then put plain clear water, put my yarn in and start dyeing. No, we're going to use the same water. All right, so yeah, I take out the excess till the water level was just barely below the surface of the yarn. You just like you would have to spread it a little bit to see the water. All right, so now I'm ready to dye this yarn. I'm thinking layer it. Let's recreate this colorway. Uh, um, it was a mistake. The mistake I made was I wanted to get more bang for my buck. So I decided to do this like it's called layering. I layered it. I watch Kim Knits on YouTube, and she calls it the lasagna method, where she layers yarn on top of yarn on top of yarn, and she colors it, she layers it, she colors it, she layers it. So that's what I tried to do. I'm gonna get four skeins in this yarn dyeing section versus two or three. Now, when I did the Tutti Fruity, I did three DK weights and it fit in the container side by side, three skeins. It's okay, but when you're using that dye is expensive. Like, I need to get more yarn for my buck, so I'm gonna do two pans this time, and I'm gonna put four in each pan. I'm gonna layer two on the bottom, two on the top. See if I can get my money's worth. Well, mistake. It was a mistake. Well, yes, it was a mistake because they kind of the dyes kind of ran together, and by me moving it around a lot, it just muddied the color of the bottom layer. And I knew as soon as I started putting it on, my hesitation, I knew, like, oh, this is not going to work right because you can't see that bottom layer. And you're putting more dye in there, and the water's moving around because you got to really fussy. I had to really fussy with it, and I put the worsted weight on top of the DK weight. I probably should have put the worsted weight, which is the thicker weight, on the bottom and the thinner yarn on the top. And instead of doing all worsted weight in one pan and all DK weight in one pan, I probably should have did it, split it. Bottom level worsted, top level the thinner yarn, so you can move it easily, see the bottom layer, get the dye down in there. Each skein will be like the one below it. I don't know, but my next dye session, that's definitely how I'm gonna do it. But for this one, I layered it on top. I muddied the water a little bit for the bottom layer, and I didn't get as much white showing as I would like. I really like the white, so I was nervous, and I really thought I had messed up this batch of yarn, and I'm like, oh no, the yarn is expensive. Good deals, I got good deals, but still, it's expensive to be wasting. The dye is definitely expensive to be wasting because if I don't like the color when it's done, I'm not going to use it. I may save it for a junk project way down the line, but I need yarn I can use right now. So my anxiety level is to the top. And the confusion, the anxiety, and it was not so much fun to do once I thought I was messing up. And it just took the fun out of it. I kept going and I saw it through, but I could see the water muddying through the container. Luckily, I have a clear container, and I'm looking off to the side like that don't look right. You messing up. Anyway, I said a quick prayer, stuck it out, saw it through all the way to the end. And actually, I was kind of happy that just a, minor mistake. And it didn't mess up the yarn. I still have eight good skeins that I can use to dye. So my next session, it should go much smoother because, you're learning. I'm just learning myself. But I figured, while I'm learning, I might as well put something out there to help somebody else if they're beginning to learn. If I can, I don't know. I felt like I should record it. But the next session, I'll layer everything in the beginning and start the process that way instead of the other way because I definitely want them to be exactly the same. I want to be able to do it with ease, and I definitely want to be able to see down in that water. So we shall see next time how that turns out. But anyway, this one, the movement was really had me nervous, but I kept going. Okay, so now I'm about to start adding the dye to the yarn. But first, I wanted to put a quick clip in here showing the goal I'm trying to reach. This is the first original colorway of the tropical Tutti Fruity that I created, but I only had one single layer. I'm now attempting to do the 2 layers. So you'll see me do two. I'll definitely shorten it down some. It's just it took me way too long, but I did eventually reach this point. But it took me through a lot. It took me through a whole lot to get to that point, and I was still very unsure how it all was going to turn out. But that was the goal. This is the goal here. So keep that in mind. You see me fussing with this yarn. I'm trying to get here to recreate it. I need the lines, the whiter, lighter lines in between each color. I wanted all of that, but I didn't quite end up with all of that. But it wasn't so bad. Um, I just stayed the course. Um, also, while we watch me add this color to the yarn, I wanted to say why I decided to use that color. Well, not use that color, but use the dye in that fashion versus adding it to water and then pouring the color on, like you probably see a lot of other dyers do. There's only one dyer that I seen do it this way, and I liked it immediately just watching her do it. Her name is Cheryl, and she's on the channel Autumn Essence of Autumn. That's the name of her business. That's the name of her YouTube channel. And she does hand dyed yarn. That's her business. She sells it. She shows us how to do it. And on a smaller scale, she's on a much bigger scale. But very, very informative. So if you get a chance, check out Essence of Autumn. Very, very good techniques undying her hand dyed yarn. But yeah, she decided to go with the powder directly on the yarn. She definitely stated that it was the most purest of the color, the color that we could get by just directly putting it on there versus adding it to water. And she was absolutely right. The orange gives me my entire life. The reds are red. It's just, and you have way more control over it. So yes, I decided to just add the powder, the dye powder directly to the yarn, and it's definitely a way to go. And I use these little pharmacy spoons here in this application because they're small. They definitely give me control where I'm dropping the powder. And I noticed that I like to have one end flipped upside down and give me the flat end versus using both spoons or both flats. I'm not sure if in the beginning I started out that way, but I definitely ended that way because they worked hand in hand and it was giving me leverage with that flat end to hold yarn open or out of the way while the spoon dissolves the powder. um, Definitely got those on Amazon. Also saw Cheryl using those. I'm like, smart, smart, smart. So I in turn did it. Um, you can kind of see the powder. You can't see the label because I kind of want to just, the colors that I use. There's so many reds. There's so many oranges. So it'll be hard to tell what I'm exactly using, but you can see the gist of it. When you're doing your yarn, you'll come up with your own colorway and how you like it, how you want to line it up. So there's no point in telling you how that part was done or why I chose what I chose. But together, when it all came out, that colorway to me looked like tropical fruits. So hence the name Tropical Tutti Fruity. It's stuck. But I'm a quit talking. I think I pretty much covered it. Why I'm using the powder in this way, why I have the low water level. It's for the control to try to keep the dye from running off its section into another section. I want them to blend, but I don't want them to blend so much where you can't see the blend. You just see muddy color. And I did get a little bit of that on the bottom, but not enough to say, oh, I'm not using this yarn. No, that yarn is getting used. Have decided that it's going to be, I'm going to use the DK weight, the thinner yarn for a dress, and the worsted thicker yarn for a matching hat. I may even do a solid color orange to go with it for the hat. I have red already. But yeah, I decided I'm gonna do a dress. I hope the dress turns out. It's just going to be a tank dress. I had made a couple of dresses out of the worsted before I knew the weights of yarn, and they are so heavy because, as you can see by my arms, I'm a big girl, and those dresses are way too heavy. I'm probably going to frog them back, make some towels. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to wear those. They're heavy. And it took me to, learn about yarn about 6, 7 months to realize you got to learn the weights of the yarn, the difference in the hooks. You got to learn a little more. And that's what I'm doing. I'm learning. I definitely learned that I like my own colors because the lots or the colorways that I'm getting from the people that sell yarn or the companies that sell yarn, they discontinue it. You just get on the roll, camera, get some more, and you go back to the website. The yarn is gone. No, I'm going to have to color my own yarn. Uh, yeah, but anyway, I'm stop talking. I'm gonna let you guys see a little bit of me adding the colors. I'll speed it up, and we'll get to the end of this applying the dye section. Okay, here we have the yarn after it's been washed and rinsed. I washed it thoroughly. I rinsed it about a million times. At least it felt like a million times. But it took about 2 hours to get down to a very minimal amount of bleed left in the water, which was all red. That's the bleeder. It's very trying when you're rinsing and you're rinsing and you're rinsing and you almost want to quit. But don't quit before you pretty much got a gut feeling like, okay, this is going to be good. When it gets washed or wet, it's not going to bleed. So I'm going to call it. But the next step after that, after you're done with the final rinse, you want to soak it again. But this time you're going to add a fixative to the water. The Dharma Trading Company does sell a fixative that will fix any leftover dye to that yarn and it won't bleed. If you see, the water's very clear. The color's gorgeous, but the water's very clear. When I pulled it out, there was no red, maybe a tinge, tiny little bit of red tinge to that water. But I was good with it. It didn't bother me not one bit. I don't say you have to wash it or anything or rinse out the fixative. Just hang it up to dry, and that's what I did. Up next, I'll be showing the final product. Stunning. Okay, I'm back with the final product. I like to put a little oil on my hands when I'm messing with the freshly washed oil, freshly washed yarn, or when I'm trying to get it into a ball, especially the cotton. This is the cotton, and it's, as you can see, it's a little rougher, not as smooth as the Pima cotton. This is a Pima cotton Sunny. The name of it is Sunny. It's 100% Pima cotton, and it's from Nomad Yarns. I really like this. I'm going to do a dress out of this one. This one I'm going to make a matching hat. It's stiff. It's like a dish rag almost, but makes a great hat. I have a couple of hats I've made out of this. This again is the Lily cotton, 100% cotton yarn. I'm going to go get my other hats that I've made just to show you. One moment. Okay. Now these hats were made out of the Lily cotton, 100% cotton yarn. Makes a perfect bucket hat. Don't look like no dish rag to me. I like it. I don't really want to be on camera right now, but you get the gist. And here's the pink and green one. Same style. This is what, the 3-color checker. I've had about a year. Nice. I like them. So I'm going to make a hat just like this, but I'm going to use, for the 3 colors, this. I'm going to do a straight orange. And I have red already. I've done red. Yeah. We'll see how that turns out. No, they won't stand up on their own, but they stiff, and they make a decent bucket hat. Ooh. Okay, here we go. These are the 8 that I just did. 4 Lily's cotton and 4 Nomad Pima cotton. Pima, I don't know. And here are the 3 original Pima cottons I did. You really can't tell the difference between the 8 that I just did and the 3 that I did about a month ago. And I was trying to match it completely, which you will never get it exactly, but we are in the same ballpark all day long. I call that the same colorway. Now let's move the 3 out the way. And let's just examine the Pima cotton so that both the Pima and the Lily, so I can show you where my mistakes were. Okay, here's the 4 cotton, Lily cotton. Oh, she left a zip tie in there. Take that out. Oh, yeah, you want to take that out. Okay, now I'm going to show you where I feel like, no, you messed up. Can you tell which ones I messed up on? I'll bring them closer. Can you see the mess up? Is there a mess up on this one? Can you see the mess up on this one? Or any mess up on this one? Let's see if I can tell. Definitely I can tell here, right here, where the blend is. They muddied together. It's a nice blend, but it's muddied, it's muted, because that green was traveling too far into the pink, so it muddied it up. I'm going to take it apart. See, I can show a little better. See how vibrant the pink is right here, down here. It's not coming up on camera, but it has a vibrancy to it. It's actually coming off as red. It's not red. It's like a pinkish. Can you see it a little better? It's coming up red, but it looks more pink to my eye. Dark pink. Yeah, a little weird. But yeah, that's where it bled in. The green bled in and muted that. And up here, this blend, it's not smooth. It's muted. Right in here, it's muted. But who's looking that close? That's a good looking skein of yarn. Let's go ahead and lay it out. I'm gonna get them into a cake. Put them in the case. Anyway, I'm not selling them. Maybe someday in the future. I'm definitely going to do another batch and try to keep from making that mistake. Other than that, this yarn is good. Let's see if I can find the other one that was on the bottom that got muted. This one, this is it. It's muted here. The blend. It's a little muddied and muted. Other than that, right here it did it as well. Let's see. Anywhere else? And a lot of lint comes off of this when you shake it. Kind of goes up my nose sometimes. Still coming off red? Yeah. Yeah, that blend. It's a little off. Up here, a little off. But the red is red. That is red. This is not looking so dark pinkish. It's looking more red. But it's cute. Definitely going to do a hat out of that. Now, these were the 2 that were on top. Let's check out the blend. The blend is just better. It's not muted. I also noticed, though, that this red could be redder. It was on the top. I may have to put a little more dye powder next time. Pay a little more closer attention. And a little more green too, because it's a little light, which the cotton yarn, it's light. It dyes lighter for some reason. I don't know. It's a little darker. The green showed up a little darker here. This is the shade I was going for, not so much this, but I still take it. I most certainly will. Yeah. I will. Definitely gonna make something out of that, and hopefully sell it in the future, because I like dyeing. It's not my goal to be a dyed yarn seller or hand colored yarn seller. That's not my goal, but the more options you have, the better. In case you didn't know, we are Taylor Gurlz Designs. Yes, we sell these. I haven't sold one yet, but the goal is to sell those. If the dress turns out okay, sell it. Make them custom made for the customer and sell it. That's the goal. And if they want custom yarn for themselves, hey, I can do that too. Sell it regularly or stock a lot of it. I don't know about that. We'll see how things work in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to learn how to dye. This is just one colorway. I have a bunch of colorways in my head, but I want to make something out of it and see what happens. So that's the Lily's cotton. It's a little rough. That's why I put oil on my hands when I'm getting ready to cake it up, because it helps smooth it out and it just gets softer. Gets softer the more it's handled. As it's turned into an article of clothing, it gets softer. That's much softer, and so is this. Than this. So I know what that's going to turn into. Right now it's a little stiff because it was, in the soda ash. It's been dyed. Washed it with Dawn dishwashing liquid. This one I washed, when I did the soak, I washed it in Castile soap. Either or. But when I'm rinsing, my final wash and rinse, I do Dawn. That getting her ready, scouring her, I use Castile. I need to buy some more. But this is so soft. It doesn't really need me to oil my hands. It's naturally feel like I've had oil on my hands messing with this, but no, I haven't. And this one feels almost like mop strings. But they will soften up and they will turn into a nice article. Make a decent hat. The dresses I made, I'm not even going to show them. I'm frogging them out. They got to be frogged out. All right, let's move on to the Pima. Let's take this out. Can we find out which ones were on the bottom layer of the lasagna method? I don't think it was this one, because the blend is... Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I'm finding it hard to tell. I don't think it was this one, though, because the blends seem to be okay. This one looks a little pink versus red. Let's see. Here it is. Here's one. See that blend? Ooh, that's muted, but not ugly. It's not ugly. So she's getting ready to be made into a dress. A little tank dress. Well, in my case, a not so little tank dress, but a tank dress nonetheless. And I'm a wear it, because I can tell by the weight of this, oh, it's going to be light. Hopefully it makes a nice dress that I can sell. In case you also didn't know, it's me and my daughter for Taylor Gurlz Designs. Her name is Alexis. My name is Jackie. And we crochet. We dye yarn. We don't knit. We make t-shirts. You need t-shirts for your family reunion? That's us. That is us. Yes, we do that. We put bling on it for you. We can do quite a few things. Also, if you need, what else do we do? If you need a database to organize your small business data, I can create you a database. I have a nice database for mine. All of mine's business administration is in order in my database that I created through Microsoft. So if you need a database, let us know. www.taylorgurlsdesigns.com, and anywhere there's an S, you would replace it with a Z, and you can find our website, which we have to do some upgrading on that website. But yeah, okay, so this one was a bottom layer, and so was the one before. These blends, those were the bottom layers for the DK weight Sunny cotton yarn, Pima cotton yarn from Nomad Yarns. This had to be the top layer because the blend, it looks different. It's not muted. Something went on here, but still the blend is better. So next time I'll layer them right, and I should get a little better result. But I'm totally satisfied with the results here. Yes. I got to get some more of this Pima cotton. Oh, that's soft. So there we have it. Taylor Gurlz Designs has created the second colorway. This is my second colorway. I've done another. Oh, let me get it real quick. This was the first. And I love this one too. But this is a completely different technique. I didn't layer it. I did a speckle method and a speckle spread. So you can't really see that it's speckled. It's spread. So that was a different technique. But I love this yarn. And so far I've only made like dish towels. Do I want to make a hat out of this color? I might. Wear it with a navy blue t-shirt with some crystal bling on it. That might work. We shall see. And some jeans. Oh, it can work. But again, www.taylorgurlsdesigns.com. And on Facebook, just Taylor Gurlz Designs. Now on YouTube, Taylor Gurlz Designs. Well, that's it for now. I thank you very much for stopping in to watch me dye some yarn. And hopefully you learned something on how you may want to do some yarn. 2 thumbs up for this project. Till next time, see ya.